robbery or murder, detectives search for clues, any kind of physical evidence like fingerprints, hair, and shell casings to build a solid case for court. When it comes to rape and sexual assault, the so-called frontline medical detectives are sexual assault nurse examiners, known as SANEs, who treat every case like a crime scene, with psychological support a priority.
The best cases are the ones that had a sexual assault nurse examiner involved.
Prosecutors like Fayette County Commonwealth's attorney Luana Redcorn say SANEs are vital to the victim from beginning to end. If the patient chooses to prosecute, SANEs are ready to testify.
That's the beauty of a sexual assault nurse examiner. First of all, they're trained in the forensic collection of the evidence, and they're a medical person. They have compassion.
Kentucky law requires emergency rooms to conduct sexual assault forensic exams. The problem for victims, says SANE nurse instructor Carrie Jackson, is most hospitals don't have full-time, around-the-clock SANEs who specialize in the forensic collection of evidence. So victims may have to wait long periods to see one if they see a SANE at all or are told to go elsewhere.
They go to one hospital, they say, no, you should go to this hospital. They have people who are trained there. They go to that hospital and they turn them away as well. I think in some way they think they're doing the right thing by sending them someplace else that they think can give better care.
According to the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, only 7 out of 78 Kentucky hospitals with emergency rooms are deemed SANE ready with 24/7 coverage. Lexington hospitals are not on the list.
The response to a victim is so much improved with a sexual assault nurse examiner.
Eileen Rechtenwald of the Kentucky Association of Sexual Assault Programs, known as KSAP, says doctors, physician assistants, and nurse practitioners can do sexual assault exams, but tells us they're sometimes hesitant and may not have the 3 hours or more needed or the knowledge to do an in-depth head-to-toe forensic examination.
The doctors haven't had the evidence collection protocol, so they don't know what to do.
It's about preserving that evidence.
And it could be that they collect the evidence, and if they didn't do it correctly, it could not produce any results.
Rape survivor Hillary Sykes never made it to the hospital. She went to her gynecologist instead, who she says didn't collect any evidence.
Was told by the people there that it had been too long. It had just been 9 hours. So that was obviously not correct.
Victims have up to 4 days to get a forensic medical exam. By the time Sykes got the courage to press charges months later, she says it was too late. She wishes she had known about SANEs and her legal right to get a forensic medical exam at a hospital.
Getting the evidence would have been 100% the best thing to help with the trial. I mean, it's hard enough to get a conviction, and just having images of the bruising, I mean, there was no photos taken of me. There was, you know.
So your rapist walked?
Pretty much. He, didn't get charged with rape.
For Sykes, knowledge is power. She's on the Attorney General's Survivors Council to empower and educate others.
If you're going through that, you need to stop them and say, this is the law, and you need to do a rape kit. Stand up for yourself. That's one thing I really wish I realized being younger when this happened, was you have to be your own advocate.
And advocates like Eileen Rechtenwald say the medical community has some catching up to do.
A lot of people never even heard of a SANE, even hospitals haven't. They don't teach it in nursing school or medical school.
How is that possible?
I think that folks don't really realize how much sexual assault happens.
Here's a number that should sink in. Rechtenwald, the director of KSAP, says in Kentucky alone, 47% of the population of women are sexually assaulted before they turn 18. That's nearly 1 out of every 2 females. In Kentucky, sexual assault is touching someone in an unwanted or offensive way. That's almost half.
Yeah. That's scary.
Though only 7 Kentucky hospitals with ERs are SANE ready with 24/7 coverage, we wanted to see how hospitals in our area stack up. We learned UK has 5 sexual assault nurse examiners that work under contract by Lexington Police. According to a police spokeswoman, the department's program sees 60 to 80 cases a year. LifePoint Health, which owns hospitals in Versailles, Georgetown, Paris, and Winchester, reported 5 SANE nurses who cover the 4 counties. And Ephraim McDowell, which runs hospitals in Harrodsburg, Danville, and Stanford, has 1 certified SANE nurse to cover 3 hospitals, with 4 nurses signed up for training, says a spokesman.
Doing a SANE exam is not something that is a financial boon to a hospital. In my mind, it's a community service.
Prosecutor Luanna Redcorn believes victims get better emotional and mental care with SANEs and more convictions.
When a patient chooses to prosecute a crime, we end up with better evidence.
Survivor Hillary Sykes says it's time more hospitals prioritize SANE nurses.
You're going through something so hard, it needs to be given the full attention that it deserves. It's evidence of a crime, it's against the law to turn people away. There's more that can be done.